Hey, Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, here with your Wednesday report. And as you guys love and like to do, you know the Wednesday routine. We're here live at the stadium at Bank of America to talk about these Carolina Panthers as they prepare to take on the New Orleans Saints. And back with you guys will be our practice highlights. So we're going to show some practice footage from today. Then we're going to go over the injury report, and then we'll recap conversations with both Dave Canales and then quarterback Bryce Young. So without further ado, hey, don't forget, we're still pushing. We still want to get to 15,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe if you have not already done so. For those of you that are already subscribed, make sure you hit the like button to continue to support independent media as we grow. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know how we're doing. Happy holidays to everybody. So let's go ahead, and you know what? I got a member that already signed on. SC Panthers boy, what's going on with you? Appreciate you being a member. So that's another opportunity for me to plug that we do have memberships. We do special videos for our memberships as well, for our members, I should say. So if you're interested in that, the link's in the description. But let's go ahead, get this off the screen here so you guys can see clearly. Let's look at some practice highlights. Give me a like for these practice highlights, would you? Now, I do have to say these practice highlights for you today are courtesy of the Carolina Panthers. So thank you, Carolina Panthers, for providing this. And there's your quarterback, Bryce Young, warming up, going through some drills, getting ready for these New Orleans Saints. Steady Eddie's what we should call him, right? And those are your dynamic duo right there, cornerbacks Mike Jackson and JC. By the way, I got a chance to apologize to J.C. Horn today for posting a picture that I thought was an interception by him, but it was Mike Jackson. But they had a lot. He understood. Nevertheless, Trevin Wallace, who's been back and is going to get his running mate, Christian Roseboom, back with him as well this week for that Saints matchup. So the Carolina Panthers, they are, in fact, getting healthy. All right, got some more linebackers in action here for these Carolina Panthers. Who's excited about this matchup? Who's going to win this matchup? Nevertheless, it's good stuff. Moreg out there running through his routine in these drills. Ransom, a guy that's been dealing with some thumb injuries. And again, in just a moment here, I'm going to update you guys with all the latest on the injury reports to bring some clarity about the title of this video, which is the Carolina Panthers are, in fact, getting healthier late in the season, just after the bye week. So that could always be, and that is a very good thing for this Carolina Panthers team. So let's go ahead and, that'll wrap up the highlights from out there in practice day. Much warmer day than it was yesterday. But these guys are pros. They're used to playing in any kind of weather. By the way, do I have it? Hold on. Might have it right here. Got to step out the frame for a second. So a lot of people make fun of me and how cold I am and how much stuff I have to keep warm. This right here is a lot like a little hot pack. I'm sure you guys know what this looks like. I just want to report that I'm not the only one that gets cold. A player in the locker room gave me these today, and he says he wore them today at practice. So I'm not the only one that gets cold, all right? Leave me alone. Stop picking on me. Let's go ahead and look at the injury report from this week. We got a list that is indeed very short. So let's go ahead and take a look at this list right here. We have Claudin Sherlis, and both of these guys have been in the concussion protocol, right? So that's Claudin Sherlis, linebacker. He was limited in practice today due to the concussion protocol. Coach believes that these guys will continue to progress, and then tomorrow will be a day that we'll get a chance to see them in pads and see how they do. So again, with a lot of things, whether it's, mostly injuries related, right? Excuse me. Wednesdays really aren't a day to really test things. Thursday's always the bigger day. Thursday's the day that they're in pads, and you see how well they can go. I really, concussions are different for each guy, but especially with J.C. Horn having that bye week, I feel really good. But, I'm not a doctor. Don't know what all this testing has been like. He was limited in practice today, so that is a good sign that he will be he's making some progress. But also, Claudin, I don't know if I said this backwards or not, but you have Claudin Sherlis, and then you have J.C. Horn. Both of those guys dealing with concussions were limited in practice today. So we'll hope that continues to be a positive sign for these guys and they continue to make some progress. One thing is for sure, right? The first time that this team lost to the New Orleans Saints was here in Charlotte. It was a big shock. You know, they've been playing very well at that point during the season, especially at home. I hadn't looked, but I really think that might have been their first home loss. Let me see if I can look at the calendar. The schedule's super quick to verify my hunch here. So we beat the Falcons, beat the Dolphins, beat the Cowboys. Nope, first one. I thought so. I kind of thought that as I was saying it, that the Bills were actually our first loss at home. But nevertheless, we lost to the Saints at home here in Charlotte. Final score in that game was 7 Carolina Panthers, 17 New Orleans Saints. So you know these guys, they want to get that victory back. But what exactly went wrong in that first game? Why were they not able to have the success that we all think that they should have had in that first game? Dave Canales touched on what happened, what the Saints did well in that first game.
Yeah, first and foremost, you start off with our run game, and it was about blocking to the second level. Demario Davis, Pete Werner, these are guys that I really respect. Making sure we get a hat on their best tacklers, in the different phases. I didn't think we did a great job of that. And from a physical standpoint, we couldn't run the ball on them. They ran the ball on us eventually, and they beat us at our own game. We want to play a physical style of football, and they did a great job, and that's the challenge in front of us.
So the Carolina Panthers got beat at their own game, specifically the running game, right? And Bryce talked about that in a little bit. I'm going to play that for you guys as well. Actually, let me go ahead and share. No, I don't have that clip for you. But Bryce did touch on what the Saints did well in that first game, and it was just mainly talking about stopping the run, how many guys they had in the box, meaning how many guys they had right in your normal running lanes, your A gaps, your B gaps, or again, right in the between the hash marks is where these guys were stacking additional players, making it hard for Rico and Chuba. So things have evolved, right? This team continues to get better. One thing that I like that I finally saw I want to say last week, but it would have been 2 weeks ago here when we played the Rams, was the fact that this team finally got a really good game from both Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. They haven't been able to find that success all season. They both had them stagnant. Then they had Rico being crazy good. They didn't look like, okay, none of them were good. And then, anyway, you guys get the idea. So I think that's something that they can build on. I think that's something that our coach, Dave Canales, has continued to hone his skills at in terms of play calling, scheming against the opponent, that we'll see some different results there from the Carolina Panthers. And that he will be prepared for, just in case the Saints adjust, that you have a second adjustment, a second game plan. But nevertheless, whatever happens, they know that they're going to need to finish the game strong. That's something that this Carolina Panthers team has done extremely well, winning 1-point games this season. And Canales talked about the ability that this team has and where they get it from in order to finish the game strong and win. Because, it's a lot of close games in the NFL.
Commitment to fundamentals, finish. We talk about finish. We look for opportunities to preach finish. And, in different ways, as we look at our season, you try to break the season up into quarters as well so that we have something to kind of sink our teeth into and wrap our mind around as much as we have. This is a one-game approach right here. We look for finish opportunities. Every Friday, Focus Friday, is a finish opportunity to wrap up the game plan. Then we have that walkthrough on Saturday. So I just keep trying to look for a finish line, to have a habit of bursting through the finish, doing whatever it takes for as long as it takes. And I believe that that's what shows up for us late in games, is our guys are used to having finish opportunities where you have to refocus at the right time. And then we also talk about do right longer. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to do anything different. And if you want to be a great team, it's fundamental execution all the way through the game, regardless if it's the first play of the game or the last play of the game on a fourth down. We're just asking for that focus and that basic execution.
So, Dave is a master of themes, Truth Mondays. I don't know all the names of them, but certainly had a detail there in which he shared about how this team gets ready to make sure they finish strong. It's something that's just not a coincidence, something they practice. Do better, longer, work harder, longer. I forget the exact phrase there, but do what you're supposed to do longer than the other guy will do, and that'll tend to give you some really good results. And even I just touched on earlier about the running back situation in which they didn't have a good run game that first time against the New Orleans Saints. But even his running backs, he said many times, I want two running backs. I want to be able to finish strong at the end of the game. And when you have two, you have the ability to do that. So let me backtrack just a little bit, though. I talked about the injury report, and I'll put this back up here again just for a second. Listing Claude and Sherlis and J.C. Horn both as limited participants in practice. I do also want to mention that center Austin Corbett, center Cade Mays, correction again, center Cade Mays, safety, let me slow down again. Center Cade Mays has been dealing with the ankle. He's a full participant in practice today. Safety Lathan Ransom, who's been dealing with a thumb injury. He was a full participant in practice. And then Christian Roseboom, who was dealing with a hip hamstring injury. He was a full participant in practice as well. So you got guys that are now full participants that were dealing with some injuries. And only having two guys on the injury report this late in the season is a really big plus. Now, as a result of Cade Mays being a full participant in practice, that means Cade Mays will return to being your center, and Austin Corbett will slide on over to right guard. That'll be your offensive lineup, barring anything happening this week. That'll be your lineup for your adjustments for the offensive line this week. Now, it's Wednesday. So we also get a chance to talk with one Bryce Young, who says he does not like to look back too much. And that's fine. That's fine. So, but what about this game coming up, right? He doesn't like to look back too much and dwell on what happened against the Saints previously or any previous accolades. He says that does not entitle him to a win this week coming up. But he made a comment about the O&O mentality, that each week is a championship week. And I talked to a few players in the locker room about that. So you're going to hear me talk more about this on Sunday. So here's a plug. Make sure you set your subscriptions and set your notifications. And that way you'll be able to join me live on Sunday from the Caesars Dome, a.k.a. the New Orleans Stadium this Sunday. Forget the exact time. I was talking to New Orleans today, coordinating my being on the field for my pregame show. So whatever time it is, I think it's 4:25 Eastern Standard Time is the time of the game this week, right? So 2:25 Eastern Standard Time, Chris Jenkins, yours truly, man of the people, will be live on the field of the Caesars Dome and giving you the latest news and updates regarding this Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints matchup. So please join me for that show. It's live as well, interactive. We're often able to take some little live look-ins at the players warming up. So if you like that, if it sounds good, subscribe. And if you already subscribed, you know what I'm going to say. Tell somebody else. I think YouTube has this new boost feature or something. Do that for your boy. Do that. My birthday's coming up this weekend, so be nice. Be nice. But Bryce Young on the championship week mentality that every week is a championship week.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a game. We know that all we can do is worry about this one. It's the most important game of the year because the next one, Coach says that all the time. So, there's nothing we can control about the circumstances or anything like that. But playing a division opponent, it's a chess match. Everyone's familiar with one another. You get to play the adjustment game, especially with this being game number 2. And that's the beauty of division football. So again, we have a ton of respect for them as a team. So it's on us to accept that challenge and work to be at our best on Sunday.
All right, and last but not least, we all know that Bryce Young has been like this, and then like this, and then like this, right? So we're hoping that he's just like here and doesn't do this too often. You're going to have some of those, but we're hoping that it's more like this. This is year 3 for Bryce Young, and he's shown us. I don't think he's went down this season. He's certainly had down games, but he's certainly gone up. Certainly gone up pretty high and make you think, wow, this guy, if we can just have a little bit less range in the variances, right? You have the game against Atlanta where he's just ridiculous in that second half and throwing for a franchise record in passing yards. Then you have a few games later, not a few games later, but you have later on, he has a career high passer rating, extremely high passer rating, really good game, 3 TDs, no interceptions. What Bryce are we going to see? But beyond that, he talked about the strides that he's made in year 3, what he feels has been something that has been his biggest stride in year 3. Bryce Young?
I think just overall command of the offense, again, being able to have the second year in the system, know it a lot better, know the ins and outs, have experience and reps with things, with players. I think just overall, all command has been something that, I think has been something to continue to build off of.
Experience, right? We all like it. It all benefits us, right? The more you do something, the better you get it. The second year in the system with Dave Canales, there could be some other things come to that. Confidence, finding some new ways to get the ball downfield, et cetera, et cetera. But nevertheless, we like it. We hope that it continues, and we'll continue to bring you coverage about this Carolina Panthers team every day this week. Again, so please make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you can know when we go live. All of our content is live, so we'll be back tomorrow to continue to get you up to date. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and again, we'll do our pregame. I'm sorry, not our pregame, but just kind of talking Saturday night. I'll do those for away games. We'll have a video Saturday night, and then we'll get you back going on Saturday for our pregame show live from the field, and then our postgame show will be live from the field. And I'm happy to say that our sensational photographer, Patrick Snyder, is back from the vacation of a lifetime. So those photographs that tell the story so well that you're used to, that you love, and if you haven't seen, you want to check out, those will be coming back this Sunday. Hey, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe, live from Bank of America Stadium.